Should be no dispute. I felt very confident that was closed. And the funny thing is, somebody last night in the chat was asking how often to train grip, things like that. And I told him, like, well, and obviously I was wrong. I said, when I train my grip, I wait 2 days before I come back and hit it again. And I told him, like, I'm coming back to train today. Feel free to watch if you want. I messed up. I do like to take 2 days off. However, this is only 1 day. I don't think it's going to hurt me too much. I tell you what, before we do week 7, I'm going to take 3 or 4 days off. I'm guessing some people in here train, and there's nothing more annoying when you're working towards a goal, you're all pumped up. There he is. Jake, V9P, he's training his grip for what? Wouldn't you like to know, sir? I'll actually give you a real answer. The Mall of America. I'm holding what I will say is a world-class event. Yes, Florida! King Griffith is back. So the guy that just hopped in here now, he's actually got a hell of a grip. I think I can say that on YouTube, I'm not sure. I'm training my grip for the Mall of America. I'm holding the 2026 North American GSI Championships. And all of us who are training, we're going to get there and we're going to show off our grip. Yeah, Jake, it's going to be a crazy contest. Everybody is invited to come hang. Let me find the next grippers we use. I'm not joking. I hope everybody on the planet's not going to be there. I'm just really excited about it and putting in a lot of effort, so I'd love to see folks there. Right hand. We're going to use our friend, King Griffith. Great to have you here, by the way. Did you hit grip today, out of curiosity? You already trained grip? Our 107. This is a number 2 that comes in at 107. Yeah, because I need to recover a little bit, I'll respond to that. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do some farmer walking at the mall. So in that big rotunda where there's 4 levels, people are going to be packed around each of the circular levels, and you're going to see each athlete one at a time pick up really heavy dumbbells. But those dumbbells, actually, look over here, gang. Let me do this while I recover a bit more. You see this dumbbell? It's only 110. Yeah, I get it. It's not the heaviest thing. Do you see how thick that handle is? Look at this. I can't even get my hand around it. We're going to have dumbbells there that are significantly heavier, handles just as thick, and people will have to pick it up, march 25 feet. Pick up the next one, march 20 feet. Go to the last one and try to get 15 feet with the last one. It's going to be absolutely awesome. We've got some other fun events planned for that day. Let's get right into our next set here. So we already said the right hand, going to do this 107. We only have to do 4 reps. Let's make sure we don't do more reps than we have to, 4 reps. The left hand, I need a 96. Somewhere in here I have a 96. It's a blue tag. That's not it. That's not it. Maybe this is it. Oh, that's a 95. Oh, my 96 is a maroon tag, purple tag. You know, if I had less grippers. Oh, here we go. Jake, whereabouts are you from? Are you anywhere near the Mall of America? 96. I'm going to chalk up or we're going to smash these now. Once we get through today's workout, this week 7, we're going to get into some more crazy stuff, I would say. Oh, 5x5 and see. Yeah, that's great, man. Good volume. We're going to do this later on the stream. This is an extremely hard number 3, and I'm going to teach you how to get good at closing a gripper without closing a gripper. You heard that right. That's what I meant. So chalk up. I over chalk a little bit. I like to hit every possible point of contact. Smudge a lot of it off. I let the haze go into the air. But we're still doing the same thing. We're going to take this set block. And in my right hand, we're going to start with this one, this 107. We're going to jackhammer 4 reps out of this, no matter what it takes. Ready? Oh, for this one, now that they're getting harder, I have been straddling the tripod, which is cool, I guess. We're going to move off to the side more like this. But don't worry, on the last rep, I will make sure to show the camera, because as it gets harder, I actually need, not validation, I just need to know if they actually close the thing. So here we go. And as it gets harder, sorry, I do my little breathing. Yep. Ow. 4. That felt really good. I think we're going to hit something today, gang. I think we're going to get after it, so I'm pretty pumped. Left hand. So this is our set block. This is 20 millimeters. What you're going to see in grip contests, not all of them, but a lot of them, is you have to shut hand grippers. How do you find out who has the strongest hands? Well, you better squeeze something or pick something up. So I'm going to shut it. I'm going to pass this through. I'm going to shut it. Do that 4 times. Now you'll hear more of this because I'm shoving it in there violently and trying to do my closes, right? So it's not going to be, it's going to be, which is relatively satisfying noise. I hold my set block here in the right hand. Once I have my gripper positioned, and again, get over here. This one is 96 pounds of pressure to touch the handles. I don't want to waste any time. The second I have it set, I just bounce right into it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to show the camera. And on the last one, I'm going to hold it. Let's just make sure I actually shut the thing. Sound fair? Oh, left hand just feels better straddling the camera. That's weird. Get down there. 1, 2, 3. Again, I maintain that was closed. Guys, ring the bell. For those of you on here, look, I appreciate everybody on here. If you don't want to chat or like or comment, don't do any of that. It's not a problem. But if you are so bold and you did see that, did it look like the left hand was shut? I feel like I hammered her pretty good. We're using, so we're not, once we get through the official workout, we'll come back and talk a little bit about Captains of Crush. We'll talk about how you certify with them. We'll talk about different setting, different things like that. The last 2 sets I have here are actually going to be pretty interesting. The next set, again, I'm not going to shortchange these grippers. You could mess any of them up at any time. None of these are easy. So I'm going to take a little bit more time before the next set, talk a little strategy, but we are going to get right into it. So, King Griffith, yes, he got his 5x5. Awesome, fantastic work, buddy. And he did some 2-5 choker work. Great. So, we're done with this 107 right now. We don't need that. The left hand used the 96. Where did we set our lovely 96? Well, it couldn't have gotten too far now, could it? Right hand. So here's a really interesting gripper I'm going to go grab now. I need a 113. This one is an old Iron Mind. Pretty rare, very collectible. Has one, come on camera. That's a 2, you see it, right? It's got the other 2. Doesn't have any extra stamping on the edge, so it means it's a double stamp, which is rare. It's super wide. It's one of the hardest ever found and recorded, and I got lucky. My grandpa bought it for me. It just happened to be strong. So in my right hand, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to have to hit 2 reps. 1, 2. Last week, so this is week 5 of 7. Last week was week 4 of 7, right? That math checks out. I was able to do it 6 times, but that was the last set. This one is the second to last set. All we're worried about this time is knocking out 2 reps. Whether it feels gross or whether it feels amazing, doesn't matter, because the following gripper is the real test, the first real test of the evening. So right hand, we're going to do this. Left hand, what do we do? Where is it? We actually need this. Now, what's interesting is, although I do have a lot of grippers, this is just a little bit of what I have. I do have some holes in the collection. So ideally in my left hand, I should be using one that's around 101. I don't have that. In fact, both these hands, if there's a strength I'm supposed to use, but it's in between what I have, yeah, blue's okay. I think I like that other color better. I always bump up to the next strength. I just like to do that. I bump up to the next strength. So here is an Iron Mind number 2. Let's try this. That's a trick. Trick didn't work. Well, it's a number 2, and essentially you can see there's some interesting stamping on it. That's how you knew it's a more recent model. A little better there. Hey, where's everybody from? We got Florida's King Griffith. What do you think about the Canon PowerWorks bumper? I've never used the bumper. I think it's super cool. I know the concept. I want to try to use it. I just don't have any experience with it. I'd like to get some experience with it soon. I'm guessing it's awesome because anything Canon puts out is awesome. We've had about 2,000 people stop through. Luckily, they've seen some good gripper work. We're going to have some more gripper work. In 1 minute, I'll do my next set. But I'd say this. Where's everybody from? It's super, super interesting to know where people are when they're watching you. So use this. I'm going to chalk up. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, chalk is just what it sounds like. all the inside of this hand, not the outside, all the inside is the potential point of contact for that hand gripper. So I do like to get a little generous with the chalk. Although in one moment, I'm going to counterintuitive everything I just showed you. Toss it aside. But I don't want so much on there. The reason why I put it on thick is so it gets in some of those hard to reach places, some of the crinkles and wrinkles. But then and so like this is still too much for me, so I just kind of slap my chest. And that almost always gets the exact amount I want. So let's hit the next gripper. Things are going pretty good. I don't want to wait too long between sets. Here's the one we're doing. 113. It's going to be in my right hand, but you're going to see this. Only 2. So you're going to see me use my off hand. I'm going to shrug those handles together. I'm going to get those handles together. Boom, 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 boom. Then I'm going to close, hold it. Boom, that's all I'm going to do. I should be capable of more, just doing the 2 because the next gripper is actually going to be a lot harder than this one. And I need to double there. We're going to do the same thing with the left hand. Only difference, left hand we're coming in 103. So let's get after it. I don't know why, but even though we're just doing hand grippers, and hand grippers are cool, I actually love them. As they get harder, I get the world's smallest amount of adrenaline rush, which, I don't know. I guess I really want it. I'm going to guarantee that I just annihilate this. That's the double we needed. Simple as that. Not impressive because we were only doing 2 reps, right? But we kind of knew that going into it. We're going to do the same thing with this hand. This number 2, we're just doing 2 reps. What you're going to see is it's there. Pass through. You might hear some different things like that. Hard to say. All right, I'm going to set the... I'm talking out loud, yes, but really I do say this to myself all the time when I'm doing stuff like this. I'm going to set it. We're going to boom, boom. Got it. Come on, double. Should look closed. I hope it looked closed on your end. It certainly felt closed. I felt it closed. I'm happy. Look at the gang coming out. You just sit down. Yes, Stealth FX. Hey, I actually have been to London, I guess, 7 times. I really like it there. I have 2 good buddies. In fact, we've got a guy, I don't know if he's on here yet. Kevin, he always drops in from the UK. London is awesome for a variety of reasons. Yeah, it was pretty easy. Tomorrow, 600. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm 1 sub away from 600. Maybe we hit it on tonight's stream, maybe not. What I know is going to happen is I am going to embarrass the next gripper. I better well after saying that. So this block, Mr. Stickies is asking a good question. Let me use an easy gripper to demonstrate. What we've been showing on the channel are hand grippers, right? Spring, 2 aluminum handles, and you touch the handles together. That's 1 rep. Oftentimes, it's contested in grip contest. I'm putting one on soon at the Mall of America. It's going to be awesome. Please stream it on this channel. Better yet, come be here in person. But what we use this for is people have different size hands. So generally speaking, like if I pick this up, see how my finger doesn't really fit on there? They say, all right, let's do this. People can place it in their hands however they want. You just can't get the handles. You can't start the rep. They always have to be at least that far. So that's 1 rep. Open it at least that far. And you're just demonstrating, right? This is what we're using to demonstrate that the gripper has released, opened up. This is a 20 millimeter set block. We call them set blocks. If you turn it this way, it's 30. Some contest, some people use this. It's a 38, the GHP. And if you're playing with Iron Mind, the king of gripper, you have to use a credit card. You have to go. So this wouldn't count. Gripper, card's not going through. So you hold it, finally passes through, and then you go boom. So when we say set blocks or bricks in your case, you can call it a brick, man. Mr. Stickies, it's actually a good question. I should explain it between each set. I know how streams are. Popper, people bounce in and out. So sometimes, I do repeat myself. Yeah, man, Stickies, it's neat. Hey, if you like this, man, if you don't mind subbing, I think you'll be the 600, little milestone. And we got Josh in here, great. Yep, it's easy. Here's what we actually have to watch for now. I still felt like the right hand was pretty doable. The left hand didn't feel so hard. These are our top sets in week 5. That's tough. It means it's your last, it's your final set of the day. So in my right hand, I'm going to go grab a number 2, 0.5. My left hand, we're going to use this. We're going to use this gripper. It's a pretty cool gripper, I think. It's an Ironmind number 2. It comes in at 107. See that? That's left hand. The goal on these sets is to get a double, to score a double. When I use this, and I've got I think just one person trying the program now, I say on your last set, that's 106. Sometimes I calibrate myself, and that's what I got last time I did it. I'm actually going to try to rep out. I need 2 reps. If I get 2 reps, I am on pace to close my goal gripper. But I always try to get a couple more. Tonight, once we finish these, I'm going to teach people how to close grippers like this. I'm going to teach you how to close a hard gripper without closing a hard gripper. I know that doesn't make sense. It's a real thing, and you use a deck of cards to do it. Allow me to jump over here. Well, I'll just take you with. This is the machine we use to calibrate grippers. It's super fun. And now, let's find the gripper that we need. We want one, these are all the 2.5s. We want one that comes in at 122 pounds of strength. What do you know, I have that. Now, in all honesty, that's a pretty big jump. This is 9 pounds heavier than the last one. Imagine you're bench pressing and your max is, I don't know, 100 pounds. And someone says, oh, you just hit that? Add 9 pounds. You'd say, well, that's probably pretty tough. It's almost a 10-pound jump. But in bench press, you're using both arms. You're using the chest, the shoulders. If anything, you're going to be able to handle it better. What I'm going to ask my hand to do is accept this nice jump in strength. So I'm going to take one more second, relax a little bit, think about what I'm going to do, then I'm going to come and do it. I need to, if I'm being honest, I get a little greedy. What you'll probably see is me shut it once, shut it twice. Again, I should be able to get twice. Try to go for more, but at some point I'm going to go like wiggly. I'm going to try to hold it for the camera, and I'm hoping that someone in the chat says, oh, brother, you didn't get it. Nice try, or oh, for sure you did. Can you snap that couch in half with your bare hands? It's funny you mention stuff like that. So for our rim budge, it's funny you mention that because obviously the couch not, although I love the comment, appreciate it. There are some things that people who train their grip a lot can do that are kind of impressive. Not all apples, not the Granny Smith, but a lot of apples I can grab and just kind of go like that. So then that, get those push-ups after. Yeah, I ought to, right? Really earn it. So I can pop those. There's a couple other things. And there's guys with way stronger hands than me that they can do some cool stuff. This couch is safe. What is not safe is this F gripper. I'm sliding it to the right because I'm no longer straddling the tripod. I'm going to be standing off to the side because it's just more comfortable. This is week 5 of 7. We're making the 9-pound jump. It's about almost an average strength 2.5. I owe you guys 2 reps. I will get 2 reps. I'm going to try to get more. Next thing you hear, I'm so sorry, it's just me kind of just breathing like that, telling myself, hey, I can do it, and thinking about how bad I want it. All right, let's go. It slipped. I mentioned it as I was doing it. I don't know if you heard that. Also, did I get that 3rd rep? Maybe, maybe not. I'll demonstrate with a lighter gripper. So, you heard me say, it slipped. What that means is, for a second, I had it right where I wanted. Had it, but for some reason, see where my thumb is? Watch this handle. This is what happened, and it's fine. It slid back in my hand. Not ideal, and then I'm closing more into my palm rather than straight at the handle. Now I got the 2 reps. Those didn't feel too bad. Maybe I got that 3rd rep. I hope I got that 3rd rep. Goal was 2. Forget that. You never want to do just the minimum goal. I'm going to take a second, do some breathing. I'm going to, it was 3 reps. Oh man, look at all these comments. Yes, sloth. Here's what I'm actually, this is my left hand. My left hand's not as good. I'm actually more nervous about my left hand. I'm not as good at setting the gripper in the left hand. If it's any event where I have to hold something for time, I like my left hand. But crushing is tough, so yeah, man, let's get after 2 here. Same thing in the chat. I'm going to knock out what I can. When the reps get hard, you're going to see me try to show it to you guys. All right, about 10 seconds of breathing, and we hit it. I think that was closed. I know that one wasn't. You know what I like? I like having to squeeze it and hold it out. It treats me to be judicious with my closings. Easy. What's up, Jeff? Oh, yes, Josh is here. Fantastic. At 6:01, awesome. Snap. No, get those push-ups. Other grippers. Do I train in rice? Oh, the rice bucket. When he says rice bucket, he's talking about 2 things. The first thing is you have a nice pail, you fill it up with rice. You put your hand in there and you do 2 things. If you're doing it a certain way, you're doing it 2 ways. You're going like this. It's in there. Push your fingers out. That works the extensors. That works the top. I have some extensor bands I'm going to show you. I'll show you right now. Here's an extensor band. I like rice buckets. I don't have one set up tonight. I'm so sorry. This is essentially what the rice would be doing. It's so hard to get your hand in the rice, or you can use sand, and you go like this. You're opening it up. You're opening it up. That works this part. The other thing that I like about rice and sand is once you're open, you shut around it. You try to shut around it. This is no joke. It's a super, super hard movement. People have been doing it for a long time before they had hand grippers, I can tell you that. Okay. Nice. Yep. I probably will do the push-ups then. Oh, hey, thanks to the folks that subbed. I broke 600. Cool. Based on what I'm seeing here, looking like I got 3 on each. Here's the wild card that I want to introduce tonight. I hope everybody finds this next thing interesting. If you're, hey, he's right. He's right. It is great for the wrists. A bucket of sand and rice. Some of what I do in the basement, my mind's over here, and then it's over here because the comments are so good tonight. As I like to do exactly what Sloth was talking about, like the home gym hacks, things you can figure out, things you can do on your own, things that don't take a lot of equipment, things that they're super and basic. Man, you could go, I prefer buckets of mayo. Well, hey, man, everybody's got their thing. Nothing wrong with that. Appreciate the comment, Noah. It's just in your basement, you're figuring out ways to better yourself every day. Here's what I want to show you next. And I'm being serious when I say this. I hope people think it's interesting. This has allowed me to shut much heavier grippers when I couldn't actually shut them. Don't adjust. You're seeing exactly what I want you to see. Don't adjust. These are Uno cards. When I was in my 20s, 22, 23, they were Racco cards. I'm going to tell you about them. I'm going to tell you why I think they're valuable. So we agree it was 3 and 3. By 3. Oh, yeah, you got that from Jed? Yeah, Jed's a dude. I was chatting with him the other day about a couple things. If you have a lot of hand grippers, if you ever had trained hand grippers, you probably have 1 or 2 that you can't close or that you haven't closed yet or that you want to close. When I was training, I first got into them when I was 19. I officially certified on the 3, 2004, I think. But when I certified, study plays. Yeah, it is programmer, and I do remember you, and I like that you always introduce yourself when you come in here. So back when I shut the number 3 and got certified, all you had to do, you had a witness. You'd go, hey, Mr. Witness, look at this. And you could get it shut as far as you wanted to about here, and then you just had to do that little bit. Iron Mind doesn't do that anymore. Now Iron Mind says, hey, If you want to lay credit to closing some of our hard grippers, you got to do it like this. We've been using the set block. You have to pass a credit card through. So now you go. You can still get it down far if you want, but you have to let it open up till this passes through. So that's a lot wider than what we were doing, gang. Then you have to shut it. Here's what I'm going to say. So I was training for that a long time ago. Back then, we didn't have a lot of grippers. There weren't the options. So if you ever got stuck, you said, I can close my number 2. There were no 2.5s. How do I get to my 3? Because there's like a 40, 50 pound gap. I started doing this. For me, in training, I always want to get a little better each time. I needed a way to measure that. And we're in my mom's basement, and I kid you not, right behind us is a buttload of games. And what came to my mind is, I can't tell how far these handles are from touching. I'm doing my max squeezes, and I can't tell. Oh, nice. Thanks, man. Well, thanks for stopping in, friend. It is nice, and I appreciate it. You're a dude. So what I started doing is, if I had my gripper, and I knew I couldn't close it, so I'm like, okay, that's not closed. But if you do this 5 times in a row, is any of that better than last week? So I started doing this. I use playing cards. And what I would do is, I'd start with the whole deck. I'd take a gripper. I could not close all the way. For demonstration purposes, we're using a very easy gripper. I will be doing, I'll just show you, I guess. I'm going to be using some really hard grippers over here. But what you'll see is this. Okay, I can't close it. Let me take this, get in my hands, and how far did I get it? I'll shut it down to something and say, wait, if I'm holding that, if I'm pinching those cards, they're not falling out. I must have closed it this distance. I'm so embarrassed, except I'm not. I'm going to show you one other thing. I really, 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 really get in the weeds. Yes, sir. Here's a micrometer. For those of you who know what this is, Eric, you know what this is. I found out it was only last year. You're going to see some stuff. Turn it on. Turn it on. Oh, that's lovely. I've got a backup battery, but I shouldn't really need it. Maybe between my next set, I'll put in the backup battery. But what I do is, I say, all right, if I close these, if I close that gripper and was able to pinch these, then I'm only, X amount of distance away. Make sense? So then the next set, and I'm doing these with a hard gripper in just a minute here, I'd peel maybe 3 off, and I'd say, all right, well, can I do the same thing? Can I shut my gripper? Right? So we took 3 cards off. I was so happy I could do that deck. Now it's like, can I do it now? Yes. Holy cow, you can still do it. You're just getting so strong. And what I would do, I didn't get greedy. I never got greedy. I would drop a card or 2 every time. The idea being that after a couple months, I didn't have to make big gains. I was just making little gains. But the confidence that came from knowing you were doing it, you could physically see you were getting better, was huge. Look at how many fewer there are. So by the time you get here, you're like, oh, wow. And sometimes when I got to single digits, like here, okay, what do I have? 4 here. When I got to the point where it was single digits, I wouldn't even use them anymore. I was just like, hey, am I almost closed? So that's how I use Uno cards these days. Like I said, I was in my mom's basement with my brothers. We were training grippers. We were annoyed we couldn't close the next hardest. So we had to find a way to try to measure the difference. Put a ball of clay on the end of the handle in between it touches. You can see the max squish. Justin Bell. Oh, so he's been on here before, and he always has some interesting thing to say. And that's not a joke, man. The Justin guy knows some stuff. Open the battery compartment and make sure there's no corrosion after the stream. Good point. You guys are smart. But I tell you what I want to do. Real quick. Look at these clever people. Actually, this is perfect in some ways because my hand's recovered. And I'm either going to, you guys tell me, I can use what is almost, there he is. There's Xbox. Should we use this gripper, which is almost the hardest number 3 ever recorded? It is extremely wide. Should I be closing my Uno cards to this, or should I use this gripper in my right hand? This one comes in. This one comes in at 165. It's a 3.5. But look at this big difference. It is a big difference. See that? Those handles are both lined up on the bottom. I'd say now they are. You see how much wider the one on the left is? So for someone like me that doesn't have very big hands, it's a real feat of strength just getting it in there so I can squeeze. Now, let me know if you have a preference. But whichever one we use for the next 3 months, whichever one we choose tonight, that's the one I'm going to be measuring my distance and my gaps to. So I guess give it some thought. Type in which one you think is the best. What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. We go live every night, usually 8:30 to 9. Kids are down a little earlier, so I'm at it sooner. Micrometer. So a gentleman on here right now said, and he's probably right, he said, open her up. Got my backup battery. I've got this here. Amateur engineer at heart. You might be better than amateur. Let me do a Racco squeeze in each because my hands are feeling good. And then I'll throw in the new battery. So we're going to chalk up. Do the wide. Even if you can close it, you'll be able to close it. All right. So he's right. He wants me to do the 160. Right? That's what you said? I love amateur people. So I'll do the 160. We're going to start out kind of easy, I think. We're going to use all the cards at once. It's not going to be easy because this, well, that's not the one we want. We want the hard one. Or we want the wide one. Here we go. We're going to use this one. This is the 160. This is an Iron Mine number 3, a newer version, and it's wide as heck, and the spring's actually mounted appropriately. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both my hands, and it's going to be tough. This is a super hard gripper. I'm going to get it in there good. I'm going to shut it as hard as I can, and my goal, and dang it, I better be able to after I talked all this, is to hold it at the end of the handles, pinch that deck, so that I'm measuring how much further I have to go for the close. Now, I will put these like I do my rack, like that. Ready, gang? Oh, boy. Fingers falling off. I can't even get that one started. Let's do something in the left hand and come back. That's my Ben Helms number 3. Here, let me use this one. I should be able to get something here. Hell yeah, I'm annoyed that didn't happen. Oh, this is a 152 number 3. Certainly never close this in my left hand. Come on, piece. So, didn't get either of them pinched down. Yeah, it happens sometimes. What I'll do now is I'll go to the other collection of grippers. I'm going to pick someone. Well, actually, I am annoyed. So I might actually just try that 160 in the right hand again because that annoyed me. Not surprised maybe with the 152. Got to go check the interview. Hey, thanks, Loth, man. Hope to catch you in. I really appreciate it. Why don't we come with me? Why don't we pick a different one? I could do one. Yeah, let me do the 152 right hand. We've already got that here. And then left hand, I'll grab something from over there. Actually, if I look at my notes. Oh, I was never supposed to try that in the left hand. That's why. I was supposed to use my 135 from over there. The 152 I was just showing you because it was almost an average strength 3. Well, that makes some sense. But I am going to try this 160 again in the right hand because I'm PO'd, annoyed. I got this from Ben Helms. If anybody knows grippers, you know Ben Helms. He's an absolute beast. Come on. Started slipping out before I put the final squeeze on and I dropped it. Let me get my left hand gripper. Let's see what seems appropriate tonight. We want... We'll do this one. We'll go 130 in the left hand. It'll get me a good mark to train for. The concept is still sound, despite me not squeezing that last one. This one, I'll get a measurement for sure. So the reason why we're squeezing to these cards, we're trying to find out how close I am to actually closing this gripper. We can measure the distance after. Here comes a 130. That's the gripper I was supposed to use from earlier. I made the error of getting to the 152. Okay, that felt good. Hey, yeah, everybody in the chat, appreciate it. You guys got some great comments tonight. You really do. So I used the 130 left hand. Let's count how many cards I got. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. Man, this is a lot, right? 5, 6, 7, 28, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 50. Yeah. 55. So I shut it to 55 cards. We'll go left hand, right, or we'll go right hand now. I'll use the 152. My point being, you're doing two things. Oh, drop shot. You can do the 250. Is that the Heavy Grips 250? That's really cool, man. There's a couple 250s out there. Let us know. We're all curious. My point is, when you're using a gripper that you can't close, you're doing a couple things. You're getting a lot of practice setting and holding a really hard gripper in there that your muscles, your mind, your nervous system, everything has to kind of overcompensate and get geared up. I'm guessing when I try this 152, it's going to feel so much easier than what I just did. After weeks of doing this, a really hard gripper like 160, when you drop off 30 pounds, 25 pounds, the mind is so ready to shut the next gripper. This is what I mean when I say we're going to close a harder gripper without actually closing it. We're going to work with grippers that are above what we can close, but we're going to get them down so close that when we finally, in a month and a half or so, go to the next gripper we want to close after using something like this, this is going to happen. You're just going to snap on it. So now we're going to go right hand. I got to get 3 squeezes with each. Oh, yeah, thanks for answering him. My fault. I didn't see that. 250 is a max. I have a 300, but I can't have a frame to snap a tendon. Yeah, man, I get that. I get that a lot. So now I owe you guys a hell of a squeeze due to my annoyance. So 55 cards. 55 cards will not, and yes, I said this a second ago, but I stand by this. This is not going to be a problem. We're playing Uno. Cool, the wild card happened to show up. Come on, you little jerk. So I was able to squeeze it down. We know that that's 55 worth of cards. So I'll make that note. We did the 152, 55. Now we go back to the 130. Let's keep it simple. Let's just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off there. Now we're squeezing to 50 cards. Does that make sense? 250 is your max? Yeah, be careful with the tendons then. We'll go left hand with this. All we're trying to do each time is squeeze that gripper just a little further down. Just demonstrate, just show ourselves that, hey man, this is possible. We're going to be training harder grippers than we can actually close so that when we go back to the lighter ones, well, it's going to feel amazing. I'm nice and chalked up. I always get the chalk on there thick, then I come back and do that. Here's our 50 cards. 50 cards are going to be hanging out in this hand. And here's our 130 gripper. It doesn't matter. Some of you are thinking, oh, well, didn't you already hit pretty hard sets with that? Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is extra training where it's a different modality. There's no excuses. I for sure better be able to shut this thing down to this. that's actually pretty easy. Nope. So what I tried to do, I shut it down to there. I liked it. Hopefully you can see it on camera. The difference is I got greedy. I let a hard gripper I can't close open, flicked out a couple cards, tried to re-squeeze. Don't do what Uncle Jeff did. What you should do is be happy, hey, you closed it. Come back after a minute or two, try again with less cards. I'll give myself credit because I got 50 Uno cards on it. And there's room for more, so 50. Now, what I'm super curious about, hey, is Justin still on here? Okay, that makes more sense. COC gripper goes from 1 to the 4, hardest gripper. Yeah, man, very good, thanks. Hey, my daughter does have some Play-Doh upstairs. I am, Justin, that's actually pretty interesting you said that, I wonder. A few can close the number 3.5, and I think less than 30%, 30 people. It's significantly less than 30. Well, it depends. If we're talking about certified, that's one thing. But if you are, and you probably, if you're saying just closed it, yeah, you're right around 30. Good job. Yeah, King Griffith, he is he is what we call dialed in the business. Now, I should be able to, and I'm going to hit the next set in my right hand in about 30 seconds here. As long as we have some decent genius people on here with engineering, and we have that. We're trying to take this out. I think I assume the battery's kept in here. That stands to reason, right? You need a screwdriver to access the battery usually. There it is. No corrosion. Maybe you have to have so maybe this thing never works with the top off. I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use one of these other batteries I have. And the fact that there's at least 2 or 3 of you that understand these things, help me troubleshoot it. There we go. Because if I'm understanding correctly, it should be as easy as just plug and play, right? Shouldn't be anything more complicated than that. Oh, there we have it. Thanks, gang. Let me do my next set, and then I'll get that on there. What probably happened is myself or my daughter, I'm not blaming her, I'm just saying, we probably left it on and we put it away. These are Uno cards. We're going to drop down to 50, so we only have to remove 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's going to be pretty tough to get this with the 152 because I've taken several attempts at grippers that are far amount harder than this. And in some ways, if I don't get this, and let's be clear, gang, I want it. Let's be clear, I want it. But even if I don't get this, it leaves plenty meat on the bone for next week. Next week, when I'm doing these Uno cards, I'm not going to start with a 160 a couple times. I'm just going to go right to this. Okay, I got that. I'll do one more set each hand. Nathan, Ivan, David. With the credit card, Carl, Nathan, Ivan, David. Yeah, you guys right? A few people. Yeah, he's on it. The guy's had his vitamins today. Hey, got about 5,000 people swing through. Now, I have a quick question for the gang. If you don't mind, and if you don't want to, no problem. Do one of 2 things. If you train grip, type a 1. 2 if you train any body part, number 2. Or for those that are feeling like extra bold, like a handful of you, where are you from? We're doing training right now in St. Paul, Minnesota. We're getting after our hand grippers. And apparently, we are fixing little bits of machinery, which I don't want to do. Do you know what I'll say, which sounds lame? Because Justin and King are on here, Eric's probably still lurking, I actually feel comfortable opening up a piece of equipment. Normally, trying to do this, I wouldn't be very comfortable. I don't like moving parts. I don't like equipment. I don't like anything of the sort. So let me... Cool. This is why I don't like junk. It always gives me problems. Oh, there we go. So the next thing I'm going to show you doesn't even need to be shown, to be honest. We're going to use this. This is a micrometer. It measures width, small widths, distance very accurately. Turn it on. So we've been closing to 50 Racco cards, so we can say this with a high level of certainty. That, in both our left and right hand, although we have one more set to go. Should we zero it out? Yeah. Always hit your 0 button. Do I use this a lot? Slide those in there. And we can say that with both hands, we're about 14 millimeters away from closing it. Oh, that's fine. That's no big deal. We're going to go left hand now. We're going to take a couple more cards off, and we can do a remeasure after. This is this little trick we're using. Try to get ourselves better hand grippers. 3, 4. So I got greedy. I am going to peel 5 off there. I actually think I can get it with 5 off there. Slosh the chalk around on there. This is the Iron Mind. 2.5, hard to see, trust me, it's there. It's rated at 130 pounds of pressure. That means it takes 130 pounds. Click, click to touch those 2 handles together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this set, and I'm going to squeeze that gripper as hard as I can. And I'm hoping, and I think in my left hand I can, I'm hoping that I'm going to use those handles like chopsticks. I'm going to pinch and hold these in place. Because if I can do that, I know I can get these handles at least that distance. I'm just trying to figure out how close I am to shutting this one. Got it. I got it with a little room to spare, actually. So that's 45 cards. I'm not going to try any more tonight. I'll do 1 or 2 other things in a second. 45 cards. I actually feel good about that. Zero it. Thank you, Justin. That's why you guys are here. Dallas. Boston. You guys are good. You guys are good. Oh, King's asking a good question. No, I am not. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So I like doing grippers, but I'm still hitting my pinch and thick bar. I did a little bighorn the other night. I got a new max at 180. I was pretty pumped about that. Let me chalk and go right into this, and then I'm going to answer. But essentially, I'll take 3 or 4 days off, most likely. No way. Check it out. Coyote 930. This is our first Canada ever. We get people from Ireland, Russia, a couple guys from Australia, a lot of guys from India. I don't know how that worked out. Mexico. We've never had, and I usually ask, do we have anybody from Canada? Dang it, man, I've been to 3 of the provinces. I've never actually been to Edmonton. You guys have a bigger mall than we have here. We have the Mall of America, which we love. We think is super cool because we're in St. Paul, Minnesota. But you guys have the Edmonton. They used to do a cool strongman contest there. Maybe, I don't know, I guess maybe they still do. I always like to be honest. This one's going to be a stretch. This is going to be a big stretch trying to get this 152 gripper pinched down to this distance. I had too many attempts at the 160 and was unsuccessful. I am going to give it heck. Don't worry. I'm also a little PO'd now that I see I bent one of the cards. And I lost a card. You're going to see me set the gripper in one hand with the other hand. And I'm going to shut it as far as I can. I'm going to try to put this in here and close the handles down so that, like chopsticks, I'm holding the deck of cards. Come on, I really want this. Yep. Oh, that was easy that time. Well, how did that happen? That was way easier. I don't know if you noticed, the one problem I have sometimes with hard grippers, the handle pusher so hard here, this left finger doesn't know what to do, so I have to manually put it on the gripper and put it in place. I felt it that time. I don't know if you guys saw that. Man, yeah, that is Canada. That's so sweet. David. Yes, these are not Pokemans. I did play Magic cards when I was much younger. I don't know if I've now lost credit or not. I should mix up the stream and do that sometimes, though. So let's do what we were born to do. Let's get good at grippers. Hey, thanks for likes. I appreciate that. Hey, Alberta, man, we'd love to have sub the channel, man. We'd love to have you around. We've got Al Block and a couple other people, but I don't think we have so many from Canada. Oh, this is what I have to tell him. I'm holding the North American Grip Championships 2026 next year here in my city, St. Paul, Minnesota. It's a 2-day event, and we've rented out the Mall of America. So there will be some Eric Roussain. He's already signed up. Some really good guys are coming. So yeah, that's the Tide of Canada. The strongest hands from Canada will be here next year. So a moment ago, when we had 50 cards, we were at 14 and change. Because I'm an absolute dork, look at that. Do you know how happy that makes me? 13.36. I don't want to say it makes my night. Go. Well, I don't want to over squeeze and be too generous. Justin, you still on here? What's happening? Right, so I've got it here. I've got my expensive tool. Yeah, okay, right about there. That's how wide these are. So when I'm squeezing that grip like chopsticks and picking it up and holding it, I'll demonstrate with an easy gripper. This is what I'm doing. I'm taking a gripper. I'm going, bah, 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 bah. And I want to see, the grippers I was using before are so hard I can't close them. I can kind of get there. And I'm going like this. I'm saying, hey, if I can use the handles and squeeze these down, I'm at least this close to closing it. I love small victories. I call it winning the workout. So every workout, I'll try to pull 1 or 2 off. I don't need to be Superman overnight. I need to be Superman in a couple years. So I've got time just to slowly work on those gains. This is what I call it is closing your gripper without closing a gripper. So the gripper I want to close, this year I would like to close with a set block. I'd like to close my 145 with number 3 with a set block. That will be later this year. So I'm trying to squeeze the gripper much harder so that my mind, nervous system gets used to all that pressure, because the spring only knows how to do one thing, push out. It's all it knows how to do. And if you want to shut it down, well, it doesn't care. It's just going to push out harder. So my point being, when your hand starts getting used to that feeling, and then you put something easier in there, the nervous system is used to crushing down hard, but wait, you don't really have to. It's moving already because it is the lighter gripper. I'll show the gripper that King has asked about. It's a legit question. I just have to find it. Oh, here it is. So we're in week 5 of we finished week 5 almost of week 7. We're trying to close the Captain of Crush number 3. The first one I'll go for is this one. It's the 131. No stamp there. Oh yeah, that's our lovely Iron Mind number 3. This is a very, very old version. If I had to guess, late 90s. I don't have to guess. I happen to know it's late 90s. And it takes 131 pounds of pressure to touch these handles together. Newsflash, this is not a hard 3. Newsflash, this not only is an easy one, this is a super easy one. But I've never closed anything. I've never closed any number 3, much less anything 131 with a set block in my right hand. That's why I chose that one. Maybe one day I can use the credit card. I would love to hear that satisfying noise. So you'd have to start about here. And then I would like to be honest, be like, boom, bam, and shut it. I'm not there yet. Now, based on what we saw tonight, I set my 122 gripper in my hand. I knocked out 3 reps, pretty convincingly, I think. But the problem was when I went for it, the handle slipped. You can actually pretend this chalk line just happened. The handle started here and it slid back a little in my hand and wiped all the chalk away. I don't care if that happens. If that happens in week 6, because week 6 we start our singles. We're going to do heavy singles in week 6. Week 7 is when we try new maxes. I don't care if that happens. I'll just set it down. I'll come right back to it. Do it. At least there, pull in. Yeah, he is right about that. He is right about that. I almost didn't have enough to squeeze it in there. I wonder, what does he say? Start with the gripper by your pocket and push forward when squeezing. Help me understand that. The guy obviously knows his stuff. He knows stuff. What I mean is, if somebody came in here and said, what RGC is your gripper? I'll just grab one that has a rating. If somebody walks in, everybody's welcome, but if somebody comes and said, hey, what RGC is your gripper? I'd say 79. That's how hard it is to touch these handles. He's on another level. He's saying, hang on, I'll show you in a second. He's talking about pockets of hands and positioning. So are you meaning by pocket? Some people call pocket. When you set your thumb in like this, you create a pocket for your gripper to go into. He's probably talking about using it like that. If I had to guess, If I had to guess, that's what he's talking about. Hopefully he's with us still. Hopefully he'll let us know if that's what he meant. Pant pocket. Small extensions on the hands. Yep, that's a great point too. God, when did we get all these awesome people on here? Hi, Justin. So we measured that. We got 45 in each hand. We're going to do one more thing here. Let's put this away. I have one more backup battery that I'm going to use for sure at some time because we just saw I needed it right now. Oh, the pant pocket? I've never thought about that. Start with the grip out of your pant pocket and push forward. That's like a dynamometer, a dynamometer. He's making a great point. When you're going for a max squeeze, a lot of... Here, let me hold it here so you can see. He's making a great point. He's absolutely right. If you want to get your max effort, what you probably should do, get your gripper. I'll go like this. It'll just be easier if I go like this. See the blank wall, it'll be easier. What he's talking about is you get your gripper set, put it here, and you buy your pocket and you go, Argh! I could not agree. I could not agree more with him. You will get your best squeeze, your best result that way. So, hey, thanks. Thanks for saying that in the chat. Sometimes I know stuff, but I don't always get it out to the masses. So we're done with that. We talked about this. I do want to try one more thing. Do other people use these in their daily lives or in grip related things? I'm just curious. I've used it in a variety of things, to be honest. Last week when we were here, we did this. And it's just on the other page, so I'll have it 1 second. We ended up going, you remember when I said it was right here? There it is. I'm going to do something. I'm going to take my IronMind credit card, and I'm going to practice credit card sets. So I'll get a little chalk in. I'll demonstrate what those are, and we'll see what I can hit. So this RGC is 79. Credit card set means you have to pass the gripper through before closing it. So watch me now. Set it as deep as you want, but let it come open. So that's closed, right? You can see that. Now we don't have a lot of juice left because we've been doing so much gripping tonight. In fact, I'd be pretty ecstatic if I could do this one. Let me try with I should check with the wife to see if she needs a hand. It'd be rude not to. Let me credit card set this one. Okay, it's in there. I'm opening my hand. I have to pass this fully through. Swipe. Boom. Got it. So it's actually good that I can still do that after all the volume we've done tonight. Julie, ¿quieres ayuda? Okay, boys, subieron 15. So I'm going to go do a couple harder grippers. I'm actually curious. My left hand didn't feel that bad. So I'm super curious what my left hand can do. So let's just jump right back into it. Get some chalk on there. We saw I hit the 79. Some room to spare. Why don't I do the super... No, let's just roll with it. The problem with having so many grippers sometimes is just picking 84. Yes, 84 is the perfect one to try this. We're going to go 84. Rapid fire credit cards. The true demonstration for set blocks, the IronMind credit card. So we got it here. Set the gripper deep. Let it open up. Right? As soon as you pass it through, you can close it. So I still got that. Now, I will say, nobody's going to be wowed with an 84, or what we say is almost a very normal 1.5. But I never trained these. And after the amount of volume we did, I'm actually kind of okay with that. You know what actually I'd be pretty impressed about? I don't think I can do this right now. Let me get that comment. I've got a 95. That's a super easy number. Yeah, let me try that. It's a super easy number 2. Like a punch. What's your record strength of dynamometer? I order a tungsten coin. I don't recognize the name. Dude, glad you found it because that's a great question. I'm buying one from Cannon PowerWorks. I get it next week. I have to try it. We're gonna start doing mini grip, not tutorials, shops at local gyms, and we're going to have people squeeze it. I'm guessing, I have a couple buddies who I'm guessing can pull in the low twos. My best hand gripper ever was a 161 in Elite. I cannot do that now. I think we know it. I'm going to set the gripper. I'm going to pass this card through Iron Mind style. I'm going to try to shut the bad boy. Sound good? So I have that really deep in my hand. I'm going to control which side is opening up. I've done it long enough, so I want more finger, a little palm, finger. Is it closed? Tell me it's closed, please. That was everything I had, and that slipped a fair amount. Was it closed? Maybe there's a delay. Super curious. Let's go right into the left hand, because actually, let me make that note. I don't know it. It's funny, I said I made a note last time. I didn't. Left hand. Right. C tungsten. A pretty good base since Oh. If you did weighted one-arm dead hangs, you've got a great start. I bet you're good at the axle. Have you tried the axle? The dead hang primarily works like your open hands. It's not totally open, but these fingers is not a lot of thumb activity. Thanks, Alberta. Appreciate that. I'm curious what your thumbs are like, because grippers don't test a lot of thumbs, but dead hanging is awesome. Maybe you can hand. Yeah, it's support grip. This guy knows a fair amount then. If you're using terms like support grip, things like that, that's awesome. Hey, thanks for adding the chat. Super useful to have you here. Consider subscribing. We do a lot of grip stuff, and it's useful when people can bring up the things I forget. So left hand, we got the 84. We got 95. Lucky for me, I have a 95, a 96, and a 98. So the next one, I'm just going to make a jump to my 98 in the right hand. I don't think I've got the gas to try a couple. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do active recovery. I want my hands to be nice and recovered for Tuesday's axle work and Tuesday's pinch grip. So I'll be using extension bands, be using a hand massager, and at the same time, Big Tree Brown. Look at him. They're coming out of the woodwork, the smart questions. Well, I've competed in grip sport. I've not competed in arm lifting. I'm not opposed to arm lifting. The contests are always at cool venues. Arnold, Olympia. The one I'm promoting at the Mall of America next year, June 14th, that happens to be grip sport, but I think they're both pretty cool. My left hand, I need to find one. So the problem I have, the next hardest gripper I have after 88 is that 95. I'll give it a whirl in my left hand. You know what would be super nerdy? No, I don't want to say it. I just like nerding out on grippers. Let me try the left hand. Let me at least get an idea of where I am. I think fresh maybe I could do it, but after all this, there's not a chance. How did you know about different grip federations? That's like our guy from Alberta, or Edmonton, I should say, throwing in like the pocket punch dynometer style. That's deep. That's deep in the weeds, fellas. So I can set it a little deeper than it currently is. You see that? Because I have to pass this through. Click, 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 click. It's the 95. I'll be jacked. After all the volume and all the sets and all the Uno cards we did, if I get this, I'll be jacked in my mind. You guys decide. Well, I've got my hand on exactly where I want it. It's just I have to open it up so dang wide. All right, a little more finger, a little more palm, little finger, all of it. Finger. I've done this long enough. That didn't feel closed. I think it was close. So my arm was all the way extended out, far away from my body, so I couldn't see it, couldn't see the camera, but my grip tells me I didn't have that. Close. Now let me try this 98. The 95 we did a moment ago was about max effort. Okay, yeah. It's you, Tremaine. Dude, yes. I'm glad you found it. Man, so where do you have to come from? If you can make it. We have contest hotels that are offering reduced rates, reserved blocks. One of them is attached to the mall. I did a super nerd video where I walked from the hotel in fast motion to the venue. Where would you be coming from if you have to Montreal? Oh, okay. Montreal's a thing. Tungsten, thanks. Do the same thing if you don't mind. I'm gonna do the same thing with my right hand. See what we can accomplish here. Maybe I'll surprise myself. I should be pretty gassed. I have decent grip. Oh, Montreal. I've never been to Montreal. There's 2 Canadians who have hopped on here. Never been to their cities. Kind of sucks. I like Canada. Okay. Now, I'm going to let this open up. My right pinky's a little lower than I want it. So I'm going to open up fingers, but I'm going to have to allow a lot of palm opening too. I felt him touch. God dang, what the heck? Is it possible this 98's not actually a 98? Eric, hey guys, can you ever have someone who's like a best friend who you've never met? I don't know if that's possible. Eric's awesome. He's in here all the time. Thanks for the count. Now I don't have to do push-ups, right? Tungsten, was that closed? I think that was closed. Well, let me do this then. I actually want to try something else then. Some people say, I have some training partners that always want to end, it look good, fantastic. I'll keep going to my right hand then. That you should end on a high note. And I think it depends on what you consider a high note. So I've had a good workout on all the things I've done in this. So a high note for me, so the jump I have to make from 98 is actually to 103, which for me is a pretty big jump. That's all right, man, you're back. So even if I don't get this 103, for me that's still ending on a high note, right? Because we did all the volume. Left hand, I'll try the next one. No, we missed. Here's an experiment. Let me know what you... I'm going to try that 98. That 98 felt as easy as the 95. So in my left hand, I'm going to try the 98. And if I somehow get that 98, I'm inclined to say that that's easier than the 95. In order for this experiment to work, I need to rest just a second here. My left hand. Let me jump right into the right hand. And 103 is the next one I have. I've got a 102. My buddy Charlie's hanging on to it. I'll go for that now. I think he was doing some Saxon bar. We've got the 103 here. We're using the Iron Mind credit card. Love the company. I think Iron Mind's awesome. I have a lot of their products. I don't have all of them. I have a lot of them. So we just closed the 98, which I'm beginning to think is a very easy 98. If it's truly a 98, we're going to 103, which is a big jump. I still want to see how close I am. The left hand is a true experiment. I just missed, and we saw it, I just missed the 95. I'll have rested about 5 minutes, and I'm going to try the 98. I think there's a chance my left hand gets the 98. And then it could be a fluke, but I'll be very curious if that happens, how those grippers actually rate compared to each other. Week 5 of 7 of hitting grippers. We already finished the program. This is bonus, right? We're just doing a little bit more volume. Next Saturday, week 6, we start doing heavy singles. I actually like that. So for me, the set is as good as it's going to get. It's just going to be lack of strength. And I know that's not close. Not closed. Was I close? Felt like I got it down there. We're going to go right into the left hand. It actually felt decently close. Don't actually know. So the test, again, we did where are you? Did the 95 left hand. Didn't get it. Close. Didn't get it. Not like microscopically close, but close. Right hand. Left hand again, I'm sorry. We're going to try the 98. I'm beginning to think this 98 is very close to that 95, despite there being 3 digits. I love this noise. I can't get sick of it. I like it too much. All right, let's get after it. Come on, I can't believe Trey Main's on here. That is a great set. Now I have to let it open up, but that is where I want my fingers. I got a shot at this one. I really do. No, there's no way that's getting close. So, there's no way that was closed. We've seen a couple things. We've seen them. I'm just spent pretty close, not as close as the one you did 2 sets ago. Okay. Well, that makes sense. So the 98 is higher. You know, the math kind of dictated that, so I don't think any of us are actually surprised by that. I did not know. I'm blown away how many smart people are on here. A lot of you guys know a buttload about hand grippers. Thanks for dropping in. I'll say this. We had about 7,000 people in here. We got a lot of comments. We go live doing some kind of training down here. Usually 8:30, 9. We do it every night. Consider subscribing if you like real training, just kind of out of the gym.